All right, Shalom. Call Yahawashi Yahawashi. Shalom to the elect. It's a quick video I want to go in on how Esau observing the heavens and outer space, and they seeing a bunch of craft out there, a bunch of movement going on out there, man. And we just closer and closer to Yahawashi and Yahawashi and the archangels back, the heavenly hosts back, I should say, that actually come help deliver the elect and get Esau ass out of power, man. And that's what we look forward to, man. It seems far-fetched to some people, they can't really grasp it, but hey, just listen to this video. I'm gonna just pull a few precepts and I'm gonna end this off. Seeing this, certain precepts that come to mind. Look at Zechariah chapter 5. And I was online looking at a video, and I just happened to post this precept on there. I actually forgot I had it pulled up on here still, but I'm glad it's still right here. Now it says, Book of Zechariah chapter 5, verse 1, it says, Then I turned and lifted up my eyes, and look, I behold a flying roll. And he said to me, What seest thou? And I answered, I see a flying roll, the length thereof is 20 cubits, and the breadth thereof is 10 cubits. Then said he unto me, This is the curse that goeth forth over the face of the whole earth. For everyone that stealeth shall be cut off, as on this side according to it, and everyone that sweareth shall be cut off, as on that side according to it. And it's mighty ironic how this rock, which through the spirit, that was a craft, and it allowed us to, really get a visual of how the Most High can send something through the heavens like that, and how the angels can travel and they can move and they can be right in plain sight. But Esau don't know exactly what it is, but they have speculation, so to speak. The angels been looking, man, and they see that Esau still got us in captivity. Esau really supposed to let us go, but since they such devils and they got that pride on them, they got them demons on them, they ain't trying to let us go, man. They're gonna try to hold on to us to the last go round. And even when the angels come back and the elect being delivered, man, hey, they might try to stop us from being delivered. That's just how Esau get down. Or you hear about the story about Marcus Garvey when he got all them boats. You see what they did to him. So, hey, they could, they'll do the same thing to Yahawashi when he come out with the angels when it's time for the elect to be gathered from the four corners of the earth. But they're not gonna be able to do that because the Lord coming back as an angelic force, not as a man. Let me read on some more. Now it says, Then said he unto me, This is the curse that goeth forth over the face of the earth. For everyone that stealeth shall be cut off as on this side, according to it. Everyone that sweareth shall be cut off on that side as according to it. I will bring it forth, saith Yahawashi of hosts. And it shall enter into the house of the thief, and into the house of him that sweareth falsely by my name. Because people always talking about, oh, God bless America and all this. Man, the Most High got a heavy judgment to come on this place, man. Real heavy. What people at least expect, they think that ain't gonna happen, it can't happen, it's gonna happen. God says, and it shall remain in the midst of his house, and shall consume it with the timber thereof, and the stones thereof. And the angel that talked with me went forth and said unto me, Lift up now thine eyes, and see what it is that goeth forth. And this just goes on to some more. I'm gonna go to the next chapter too as well. Now, the book of Zechariah chapter 6, verse 1, it says, And I turned and lifted up my eyes and looked, and behold, there came 4 chariots out from between 2 mountains, and the mountains were mountains of brass. Now look at these ships, man. Look at these objects, how they look like. They look like big mountains. Then they put Esau, Esau like to play games and shit. They want to put this in the inside and make it seem like, oh, it's just a little gray alien or green alien with big eyes inside. Nah, Esau's worst nightmare is out there in space, man. Black angelic beings. Like that guy said in that interview, and the lady asked him, how did they look? How did the beings look when they got off them ships? And he was like, they were very black. She was like, were they dark? He was like, no, black. And you, Akim, I'm quite sure you might know a video I'm talking about too if you haven't seen it. But Esau like to try to take that video down every time somebody re-upload it. But it's called, one of the titles is called The Ringmakers of Saturn. But you got a lot of ships, man, to be flying in and out between the planets, in and out of Earth. Like the scriptures say, the eyes of the Lord are 10,000 times brighter than the sun. They go to and fro in the earth, beholding the good and the evil. So his eyes are these angels. They're flying these ships as well. Yeah, they ain't got to fly no ship. You have some people that try to be simple and be like, oh, the angels got wings and all. No, look, angels, they actually use vehicles too. And we come from Yasha Allah, man. Our people like to do stuff in style. That's why you see some chariot, they got a bunch of lights on them. Somebody look like a big ruby. Somebody look like a big block of like onyx or something like that. Some look like asteroids. They might think it's an asteroid the whole time. That's a chariot, just cloaked like an asteroid. The angels can do that. They don't operate on the same physics as we operate. Let's see, I'm gonna just pause right there. I ain't gonna play the whole video. I say I want to try to make it short as possible, get the main precepts. But man, these craft move way different, man. And the Most High can put them on a mission just to come scout somebody. They ain't gotta do nothing. Just come scout and see what's going on. Or make yourself known, make yourself visible. Cause that's the Most High. The Most High can do that. But man, it's impossible. Everything is possible with the Lord. So the stuff people think is far-fetched, it can't really happen. That's what be going down, man. And Esau know this shit. That's why they got the Space Force. So let me go to this precept real quick. I'm gonna get ready to end this off. That's the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 13. And see, right now you got war going on. You got the situation with Taiwan, China, the U.S. interfering with that. Ukraine and Russia, U.S. interfering with that. India and China, the U.S., they just a matter of time before they really start interfering with that. Azerbaijan, and I want to say is Kazakhstan or somewhere, if I'm not mistaken. The U.S. interfering with that. Then you got Israel and the Palestine situation. So all these events going on around the earth, stuff going on as well in South America, stuff at the Mexico border, all the stuff going on. Man, these nations, of course they go gang up against Esau and do what they do. But in the midst of that, at the same time, this going to be the most epic event that ever happened. Like people still talk about the Exodus and the sea being split. This going to be on a whole nother level. You got to think, you're going to have people with the Karagama in them. So stuff's still going to be moving. Society's still going to be moving. People going to be buying and selling. We'll have Jacob's trouble going on. You'll have this third woe. These nations going to be gathered and battling it out. Them arrows, them nukes going to be fired off. Then in the midst of that, you're going to have Yahawashi come back with the angels, as it's written right here in these scriptures. And the Apocrypha line up with the New Testament for people to try to be like, oh, well, that book ain't verified and all that. No, the Apocrypha line up with the New Testament, and I approve that with the precepts. Now, book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 13, verse 3, it says, and I behold, and lo, that man waxed strong with the thousands of heaven. When he turned his countenance to look, all things trembled that were seen under him. And whatsoever the voice went out of his mouth, all they burnt that heard his voice, like as the earth filleth when it filleth the fire. After this I beheld, and lo, there was gathered together a multitude of men out of a number from four winds of heaven to subdue that man that came out of the sea. That's what the Space Force was. Not just to go exploring and all that shit. No. So they can actually try to subdue Yahawashi. Man, ain't that something? Esau got some goddamn nerve. Now it says, I beheld, and lo, he had created himself a great mountain and flew upon it. But I would have seen the region of place whereout the hill was graven, and I could not. After this I beheld, and lo, all they which were gathered together to subdue him were sore afraid, and yet durst fight. So they're going to be spooked. They're going to see them angels. They'll see dark-skinned beings standing 8 feet, 9 feet tall, floating with these ships. And these ships going to be flying in, changing colors, changing shapes, doing all type of maneuvers. Might appear in one spot, then appear in another spot, and then back at the spot where it was at. It's going to be all type of stuff going on while this third war going on. And then they're going to try to fight. And they're going to lose, though. Now, verse 9, it says, and lo, as he saw the violence of the multitude that came, he neither lifted up his hand, nor held sword, nor any instrument of war. But only I saw that he sent out of his mouth, as it had been a blast of fire, and out of his lips a flaming breath, and out of his tongue he cast out sparks and tempests. And they were all mixed together, the blast of fire, the flaming breath, and a great tempest, and fell with violence upon the multitude, which was prepared to fight, and burnt them up every one. So that upon a sudden of an innumerable multitude, nothing was to be perceived, but only dust and the smell of smoke. When I saw this, I was afraid. So just imagine they got all the nations gathering up, Russia, China, Iran, they're the top nations, Libya, Great Britain, they got their Space Force. They fighting each other, then they link up, got NATO, all the different nations up under that. They link up, try to fight Yahawashi and the angels, and they get turned to fucking dust. That's what's gonna go down, man. So Esau, your time running out, man. Your time is really running out. So like, I want to try to click on that. Let me get this last precept. Book of Revelation, chapter 12, verse 7. It says, and there was a war in heaven. Michael and his angels fought against the dragon, and the dragon fought with his angels, and then what happened? Verse 8, and prevailed not, neither was their place found any more in heaven. That's what's going to happen, man. Now, people read verse 9, which I ain't going to get into that, and they read that and think that Satan was up there fighting the Most High. No, that's not what it's talking about. It's talking about this end-time event. And the Space Force actually, you see what Secretary Ezra just said. When the Space Force, they're gonna ask them different militaries, them different branches, Space Force, Air Force, whatever force they got, they're gonna gather together and they're gonna go up against the Yahawashi and angels. And that's part of the reason why they're gonna be gathered in the Valley of Jehoshaphat, so they can all have the main portion of their military in that position, so the Lord can show His power, man. That's gonna be an amazing day, man. I could just visualize the type of event and how it's gonna be through the Spirit. Let me see. Let me get one more preacher on, man. That's And while that's happening, now Matthew chapter 24 and verse 31, it says, and He shall send His angels with the great sound of a trumpet. They should gather together His elect from the four winds, from one end of heaven to the other. Because there's going to be so much destruction going on. The only way you get up out of here is divine intervention, man. Ain't no bunker going to save your ass, none of that. Except for Esau, the elite. They got space hotels and domes, deep underground military bases and stuff like that. Stuff under the water where they can retreat to. And then there's neutral zones on the earth, so when war break out, certain areas won't get touched. Other than that, when you're in Babylon and these other main areas where them nukes gonna hit, on the way you get up out of here is when Yahawashi send them angels for you. So Adawan Ratazah be of the elect, and you Akim as well. And Adawan Ratazah, this video was edifying. Call all Yahawashi Yahawashi. Shalom to the elect.